30 days ago, I set up a FIVERR selling account to see how much money I could make in just 1 month, and you'll be surprised by what I learned. I'm going to share it all with you in this video, so do watch all the way until the end. So 30 days ago, I set up a FIVERR selling account. I've never sold anything on FIVERR before, but it's always been something that really interested me. I spoke about this in our last video dedicated to this topic, where I said I'm going to see how the results go, and the idea was to make this as simple and as replicable as a business idea as possible. I was going to get designs and make them on FIVERR. I was going to use a software called Canva to do this, and that software is free. The idea is I get to profit the amount of money that I sell the listing for, as there's no costs, and all I lose is a little bit of time making each logo. So I put up my different FIVERR gigs. I decided to keep it towards 3 gigs.
There's a reason for this.
I decided even though I'm doing logo design as a whole topic and I don't want to do anything different, I can actually diversify this. I can say I'm going to do one listing where I do minimalist logos, one listing where I do word logos, one listing where I do picture logos, one where I do Instagram logos and stuff like that. You get the picture. So that was the idea, and I did 3 listings for this. Now, I wasn't actually expecting very much for this experiment at all. Not only was I not expecting to make any sales, but I didn't even think I'd get very good engagement with any of the listings. But what I have to say is I'm actually quite surprised by how well some of them did. Now, bear in mind, just like when I talk about Etsy in our last video, I think that FIVERR is one of those platforms where the more you do and the more established you get, the more sales you will make, because people can see the results of your work. So as a new seller on FIVERR, I was surprised to learn that a lot of my listings did actually get pushed. One of my listings got 104 impressions, the second of my listings got 94 impressions, and the third one got only 17. But as a whole, that's quite surprising. Now, I have to say, for the last 10 or so days, I've not been on FIVERR at all, which will have influenced the amount of views that I get, because it shows that the seller has been inactive. But for 20 days of the challenge, I did see the views figures continue to climb. But that's just the views figures. Let's talk about what happened in terms of sales. Did I actually make any? Well, surprisingly, the answer is no. I didn't make any sales selling on FIVERR in the 30 days. Now, there's a few reasons why I think this is, so if anybody wants to try this side hustle, I think there's a lot that you can learn from my mistakes. The first thing that I'd say is the amount of listings that I've done. 3 listings did give me a lot more exposure. Again, if I'd have only had 1, I'd have got a lot less views than what I did with all 3, but if I was to add 5 listings, 7 listings, 10 listings, I could have probably had even more success and probably even made a sale. Another great thing that I'd say for anybody who wants to genuinely make FIVERR a business, I think you should be on the platform every day and as much as possible. Now, I don't mean that you should probably set hours a day staring at the screen, but what I'm saying is, if you have a computer and you're doing other work on the side, why not just have it open in a web browser tab and just have FIVERR there? You'll be surprised how many messages you get every single day. Now, I was alarmed by how many of these messages were fraudulent and people just were not interested in buying. It was some sort of a scam, but I did actually get some engagement nevertheless. If I'd have probably tried a bit harder with FIVERR, been on it every single day, added a lot more listings, then I'd have probably had a lot more success. I'm not saying that I would have made hundreds of pounds a day. Honestly, I don't think that's the case for anybody selling on FIVERR unless you have hundreds of listings, and to do that you'd probably need to do some sort of drop servicing, as it wouldn't be humanly possible to fulfill all of the orders that you have in time. However, for December, depending on how things go, I might give FIVERR selling another try. I'm definitely going to have to research into the terms of service and look into whether drop servicing is allowed on FIVERR, because quite frankly, in terms of the businesses that I run at the minute, it wouldn't make sense for me to sit down doing FIVERR designs at all anymore. I have an Etsy store, I have an eBay store, I have this YouTube channel and some other businesses which I've not yet told you guys about because they're coming in upcoming videos. My point is, with the amount of work I've got to do alongside the university assignments I have, I don't have the time to sit there doing designs every single day, and especially if I was to start making hundreds of thousands of pounds on this business every single week, I'd definitely have to put in hours every single day, whereas something like my Etsy selling business and my Facebook selling business and my eBay selling business, these do not take very long at all to do. So in terms of somebody who's already got an established business, it's not been the wisest decision for me to carry on with it, which is why I've been kind of inactive towards the end of the challenge. I also think that the niche will absolutely affect how things go on. One thing that I will say that I did keep the same all the way through the challenge, and I probably shouldn't have done, is keep selling in the same niche. Now, if there's one thing I've learned from my other reselling businesses, it's probably best to try and experiment with as many niches as you can, because you might learn that whilst my logo designs don't do very well, I might have a great experience selling, I don't know, book cover designs or writing up documents or something like that. You just do not know what it might be. But as always, it's time for the big question at the end of the video. Would I recommend Fiverr selling to a new beginner? Well, I honestly think that depends. For most people the answer is no. But that depends on what you want out of your business. If you're just out here to make money, as I've said many times before, Shopify, eBay, Amazon, Facebook, Etsy, they are the best places to make money. You can list items, whether they're drop shipped or items that you buy for cheap at charity shops and then resell. It just makes more sense, in my opinion, to make money reselling items that already exist. Again, you don't have to expand the time creating the item, but really, if you want to start a business, something that's fairly easy, something where you can start making money fairly quickly, and something where you actually have to put work in hands-on, because I know some people do genuinely like that, I think Fiverr is a great place to start. If we're out to make money specifically, I think there's better models, but I think for an idea to add to others, it definitely could work. Now, the only way that I'd probably adopt this permanently is if I was to genuinely start doing it as more of a drop servicing model. That way I could just be an administrator of the work and not have to actually sit for hours creating it. In terms of businesses, I think many people, if not most people, have much better options that are significantly easier and have more yield as a whole, but I think if it's what you want to do, it could be worth trying. But just like a lot of these experiments, I say it all the time, I want to make a channel which shows you the genuine idea of how running a business works. Sometimes you have business ideas that are massively successful, sometimes you have business ideas that completely don't work. What I've learned this week though is, it's another idea and it's something else that I've tried. It's something that can work if you have the time and effort to put into it. If you're just out to make money though, I think there are better options on the table. Next week we're going to be talking about something completely different and of course new ideas to make money, but if you enjoyed this one, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe. I hope I'll see you in the next one, but goodbye for now, see you soon.